So Nathan, Whitby Town into the quarter-finals of the North Rhine Senior Cup. 4-1 victory over York City this evening. What were your thoughts on the performance?
Yeah, it was a comfortable win, I think, in the end. Young York City side, must be said, but they acquitted themselves really well. They tried to play the game, they were fit. They got through the difficult conditions, but I think we overpowered them in the end, and a little bit of class, and it was 4-1.
Yeah, and as much as when you looked at this lineup, you'd expect Whitby to be the favourites to progress in the competition. I suppose after the recent setbacks, those 2 defeats, it's just good to get back to winning ways and get a lot of confidence into the players again.
It is, and we're down to the bare bones. We've got a few niggles, a few knocks. We've played bully tonight. It was a decent game, but we went in at half time and we had 3 lads who needed to come off. Kelly with a reaction to his booster jab. Johnny Byrne, an old injury, flared up, and Marcus Giles had a really tight calf. So we made all our 3 subs at half time. Just thankful we've got through it unscathed from that point.
Yeah, and then just looking at how the game panned out in the first half, just the 1 goal, it was unfortunate circumstances from our point of view in terms of being an own goal, but I think in general balance of play, we probably deserve to be ahead at the break.
Yeah, well, it's a good ball in from Josh, which we've put pressure on the keeper. We've not been good enough from set pieces this season, so albeit we haven't scored, it's gone in from the keeper. I'd give us the credit on that. The ball was a good quality, and like I say, the pressure's made him make that mistake. But I think we were pretty comfortable in the first half, and it's like I say, 1-0 probably wasn't justified, but you'll go in at 1-0 anyway.
Yeah, there's a few of the substitutes had an impact in the second half. You always mentioned about the injuries forced players off at the break. Was that possible in your planning there to bring those players on?
No, it wasn't. We wanted to rest Fuse and Hayes. They've played a lot recently, hence the reason we put Bully up there. But they've come on, they've acquitted themselves well. And there's been some stellar performance from a few of the lads who haven't been involved as well.
Yeah, and then that's that second goal well from Jacob Hazel, just showing his class of composure there.
Yeah, well, I think he meant it the other corner. Then he's obviously put it near stick, but that's his. He scores goals, and long may that continue.
And then had a real chance to kill it off earlier than we did from the penalty spot, but on that occasion, not so composed from Jacob then. The penalty won't seem to go on.
No, well, it's a frustration for us. It's something I think we need to look at in the league. Things like that can cost you games, so it's important we look at that.
Yeah, and I suppose if anything, it seemed to almost spark York into a bit of life when they got that goal back, and Mackenzie, he knew the free kick, and we know all about the quality he can bring, but that seemed to really spark York into it, make a bit more interest in it too.
Yeah, it does. It often happens. I mean, we can kill a game off at 3-0, we don't. They get the goal obviously from a set piece off Macca. His delivery is brilliant. He's dispatched it, and all of a sudden, goals change games. You're 2-1 up. And they go on the ascendancy. I think they had a 10-minute spell from that point, put us on the rocks a bit, come through it, and then the 3rd goal killed them off, and obviously we got a 4th from that point as well.
Yeah, and those final 2 goals were real moments of quality. Firstly, Colby Shepherd, a great strike, and then the composure from Priest Griffiths, just spotting the keeper of his line and chipping it over him.
Yeah, well, Colby, we set the challenge. Well, I set the challenge for Colby at half time to get his shots off. He doesn't do that enough, and he's done what I've asked him, and fair play. So it was a great finish, and that epitomises his performance. I think he's been top draw today, best player on the pitch by a country mile. And then obviously Priestley, bringing Priestley on, he got us on the front foot a lot. He was making some forging runs, obviously breaking lines. He deserved the goal as well.
Yeah, and then now the prospects will have played Scarborough away twice within the space of a couple of weeks, most likely, given the schedule we've got coming up.
Yeah, it looks that way. We just need to reassess now. We need to recover. Most important games, obviously, Atherton on Saturday in the league programme. That's our focus. But yeah, it sets up a juicy tie against Scarborough later on in the month.
And then just looking at that game against Atherton the weekend, I suppose after this win this evening, it'll give a lot more confidence to the players, and hopefully they can get back on track in the league as well, because it is getting tight in those playoff spots. Yeah,
listen, it's important. We've had a great start to the season. Obviously, second half of the season, 2022, we've started off with 2 defeats, which isn't ideal. But you've got to give the lads credit. We've got a small squad. We're getting through it. We've got injuries, we've got niggles. It's a squad game. We've just got to get through it, and I've got no doubt. I've got all the confidence in the world that the lads will put in a decent performance on Saturday.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
All right.